here at the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic, where tonight LCA has come in here and knocked off the Knights by 10. Second time in school history. LCA has defeated Catholic in basketball, beat them last year. Second win, and tonight a couple guys came up big. I thought Drew Trimble was big tonight, and I thought Trey King was big, and of course Matt Rose is Matt Rose.
Matt Rose is Matt Rose. Outstanding play by the entire team. And Valentine's weekend, congratulations to Coach Valentine pulling off the big win. 10-point win at Lexington Catholic is huge for anyone. Lexington Christian tonight secures the #1 seed in the 43rd District Tournament.
If you don't think this was a big win for LCA, just look at the last game Lexington Catholic played. They went over to Richmond and played a really good Allen Feldhouse Madison Central team, beat them 78-73, and Tanner Johnson, that man, had 43 points. Tonight he comes in here and LCA clamped down on him big time. I'm not sure we'll get a final stat sheet, but I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that Tanner had 20 points tonight coming off a 43-point effort against Madison Central.
Right, and you know, Matt Rose, that's a lot of credit to his defensive pressure,
yep.
But they rotated many guards onto Tanner Johnson tonight, did a great job defending him. But you're exactly right, 78 points 2 nights ago, 44 points tonight. It's the same players, it's a different defense. And when you put an intense, focused, disciplined team defense on a group, then you stand the chance to win, and that's exactly what LCA did tonight, taking a team who scored 78 2 nights ago, holding them to 44.
44 points tonight, great defensive effort. We're waiting for Drew Trimble and Trey King. They're going to come up, our co-stars of the game, and chat with us here very quickly. They're on their way up from the locker room after Coach Valentine talked to them. And how about LCA picking up their 19th win tonight? They're 1 win away. Everybody kind of looks at the season and says, what would be a success? Of course, you get the #1 seed to 43rd, and you're 1 win away from 20-win season. I say it's a pretty successful season.
That's a successful season, and LCA is celebrating tonight. They're excited, but they're really excited about what the future holds. They go into the district tournament strong, healthy, playing the best basketball they've played all season. You're getting quality production from all positions, not just Matt Rose, but their guard play is excellent. Their post play with Trey King is outstanding. Their forward play with Trimble was great tonight. You go into the district tournament, which is just probably the hardest district in the state to win. Let's look, as the #1, yep. You're going to play either Lafayette, Dunbar, or Tates Creek in the first round. And you lose in the first round, and it's over. So just a tough district.
Let's get our stars of the game in here. And do you want to put one of those that headset on? Is that? I got you. Let's get a headset on Mr. Trimble. And Drew, we were talking about the defense tonight. And, you know, Lexington Catholic had just come off putting 78 up on Madison Central the other night. Tanner Johnson had 43. Is that something you guys took notice of?
Yes, sir. Right. Actually, right after that happened, next day in practice, we all week in practice, we've been just doing defense. We did, like, no offense at all. It's been all defense. We've been doing more 4 defensive, 5 offensive, rotating and trapping and stuff like that. And it's really improved our defense, and we've played a lot harder today in practice and showed tonight how we defended very well tonight.
Drew, you know, your game is really elevated. I mean, you played well in the All-A tournament, but you played well all season. You're 6'8". How does it feel now that you're a senior, knowing that you've knocked off Lexington Catholic twice now in your career? You guys have never done this before last year.
You know, it's something special. We've been playing these guys since 5th grade, and they've beaten us every single year. And it feels good to come in here and get one from. We didn't really get one from. We beat them. Yeah. And it felt really good just to win for these seniors. I know the 6 other guys down there in the locker room are really happy about it, and I'm glad for our younger guys to experience it so they know what to expect.
You know, everybody knew that Hill was an outstanding guard, but you got to give credit to Schacht and Stein and Davis and those guys, because they have really brought their game up, knowing that what a great guard is, knowing that they don't want you guys to miss him. I mean, you're going to miss him, but I think your guard play has been outstanding.
Yes, sir. I really am happy for those guards. They've really stepped up their game 200% from what I expected in the beginning of the season. With Trevor going down, Trevor is a big part of our ball handling. Yeah. Even Kyle Rhodes stepped up big time for being 8th grade and taking all responsibility. And Joe, Drew, and John, they've done an outstanding job running our team.
You know, and your fan support, Drew. I mean, your section over there was really fired up about this game. And, of course, being the fact that, I mean, a lot of them didn't have to drive here. They could literally walk here. That's how close your school is from Lexington Catholic. So it is really, as they say in the South, a good old backyard rival, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. It's funny because every time we play Catholic, it seems like the week leading up to it, it's crazy. Everybody's on the announcements. Everybody's talking in class about who's going to the game.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to the game, they make you go to the game. This is a big time rivalry, and I love to play in this type of game.
You had double figures tonight, a double actually. So is that something that you pride yourself in? The first half, you guys were really crashing the offensive boards, especially early in this game. Kind of set the tone really for the game.
Yes, sir. We have this new thing Coach put in this week called the hard work chart, and we chart only like hard work plays like diving after the ball, taking charges, offensive rebounding. And after the game, we look at the chart and see how hard we played, and if we have a higher points than the other team, then we have a good chance to win.
How does it feel knowing heading into the 43rd district, you're going to be the #1 seed in that 43rd district, which is considered one of the best in the Commonwealth?
It's an honor, but we're not done yet. It's still tough. I mean, the 4 or 5 games, anybody could win. Anybody can win any of the games in the tournament, and I'm just really blessed to have these group of guys around me. And I love them to death. And this win was for those in the past that haven't had the chance to be in the #1 seed in the district tournament.
Drew Trimble, I got to ask you. I'm going to go back to that Newport Catholic game. Even though it was a tough loss, it went down to the wire. You guys could have easily won that game. How did that game motivate you and your teammates, knowing, hey, if we can play with one of the top teams in the state, we can play with anybody?
We after the game, we knew we could play with them. After the game, we walked in the locker room. We were all pretty torn up about it, even the seniors, because it was our last run at it. But first thing Coach said is, this isn't the last of our season. We still got another half of the season. We got another state tournament to go after. And so that just really got us going. We had some hard days in practice, and we just went hard, and we've been motivated since.
Well, I'm on your bandwagon. I said tonight you can play at the next level. Is that something you desire to do, is play collegiate? I know there's got to be some colleges looking at you now, the way you stepped it up here your senior year.
Yes, sir. I want to further my basketball career next year, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Thank you, Drew Trimble.
Thank you.
Let's get Mr. King over here. And he was king tonight as well. I tell you, this young man prides himself in getting the boards as well. We're talking about Trey King and big 6'6" sophomore, Mr. King. One of your better games tonight. Do you feel like as you stepped off that floor tonight, this is one of the better games you've played?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I feel like today going in that I knew I had to play older and play smarter than I have before, and that I need to grow up, and I feel like I accomplished that today.
How much do you feel you have grown up this year as a player at Lexington?
I feel like I've grown up a lot mentally. Coach just told me before that I can't let the stuff around me affect the game. I just need to stay tuned in and do what I need to do, and I think I did that tonight.
Yeah, you had a great game tonight, particularly staying with it there. You missed some shots, but you stayed with it and stuck it back. I mean, was Catholic giving you something there tonight? Do you think they maybe weren't paying you enough attention, or what was in your mindset?
I think they did. I don't think they paid enough attention to me to where when I got the ball, I knew I could take him, and I just did it.
That helps when you play with guys like Drew Trimble, Matt Rose, and Kyle Rode, and guys like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, most definitely.
Trey King, one of our stars of the game tonight, 6'6" sophomore. You know, your future is bright. I mean, you're only a sophomore, so you got a couple of more years at LCA. So what are you looking for? You got the last week of the regular season in the tournaments. What is Trey King looking for in these last week of the regular season?
I think I'm looking for me, just playing older and playing like a leader, because when these guys are gone, all that's gonna be left is me and Kyle and Trevor, and I think I'm gonna have to step up as a leader and carry my team the way Coach knows I can.
Yeah, well, great game tonight. I was impressed with you, young man. I like the way you carry yourself, and
Thank you very much.
Good luck next week, and good luck in the tournament. You'll be the #1 seed in the 43rd.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Trey
very much.
King, we got Coach Valentine now stepping in here to join us as his Eagles win tonight. And Coach, I know something that you're proud of is the fact that you held a pretty good high-scoring Catholic team to 44 points tonight after they just came off a 78-point effort against Madison Central the other night.
Yeah, that's who we are. You know, unfortunately, it's not pretty and it's not sexy and it's not the up-tempo style of play that a lot of people like to watch. But with this team, we just have so much size and strength inside. You know, we have to control the tempo, and that's where we want to be in the 50s. That's where that's where we want to be. So.
And that's a credit to you and your coaching staff and your players. Everybody on your team has handles. I mean, there isn't one guy on your basketball team that can't handle a basketball. So teams do not want to get in a situation with you with it because all your guys can handle a basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we did a tremendous job, I thought, tonight handling the ball, and you know, all our drives were downhill, and we weren't playing it with anything side to side. And Drew Schott came off the bench and gave us a tremendous lift, handling the ball. He was 0 for 2, and looking at the stat sheet, he had 0 assists and 1 turnover. You wouldn't think he had a phenomenal game, but he played really well for us, and just really, really proud of the guys that stepped up off the bench, and Trey King and Drew Schott and Joe Davis and those guys that gave us a boost.
As I asked Drew Trimble there, you don't want to look back at a loss, but the Newport Catholic game in the All-A, I think your ball club came off that court, particularly the seniors, and the way you directed them in that locker room. You said, guys, we got a lot of basketball ahead of us. I think that was a pivotal game because Newport Catholic, in some polls, is as high as number 3 in the state, and you played toe-to-toe with them.
We've proven time and time again, and in this tournament, in the manual game, they were number 2 or 3 at the time, and if we get a rebound, we beat them. We've got 5 losses. 5 of our 8 losses are by 1 possession. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes losing to learn those lessons, and I wish we could have done it after 2 or 3, but these guys are finally starting to understand how important every possession is. And it's really hard. It's my first year with these guys, and they're used to playing 100 miles an hour. And I'm really pulling them back, and they're having to pass up open shots, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. But for the first time, I feel like in the last 2 games, they're actually starting to grasp time and score.
They're having to ratchet it down a little bit, aren't they? Back off the pedal a little bit. But
definitely.
But, Coach, in your first year as the head coach, you are the 43rd District #1 seed, and the 43rd, I don't have to tell you because everybody around the state tells us, considered one of the toughest districts, if not the toughest, in the Commonwealth. So you're #1 seed heading into the Tates Creek 43rd.
Yeah, as far as the tournament goes, I don't think the #1 seed really means anything, to be honest with you. But in terms of this program, when I took this job, a lot of people said, it'd be a good stepping stone job. You can go there and hopefully win a little bit and do good in the All-A and have a chance to move up to one of those big city schools and actually have a chance to win the 43rd district.
That's not your philosophy.
And I knew with the team we had coming back that we could do it right away.
Yeah.
And to come in and do that in the first year, and it's nothing to do with me. It's a testament to those seniors and how hard they worked and their will to win and their leadership. Is for Matt Rose to go 4 for 17 from the field and be a leader the way he was on the floor tonight was phenomenal, and that's why he's a big time player.
And I thought Trey King had one of his better games for you. I mean, I just thought the young man was huge. The way he stuck with it after he missed shot, he grabbed him back, and there were 2 Catholic players hanging all over him.
Trey King and Drew Trimble were the key to that game. Yeah. Drew got some big buckets for us inside. You look at the stat sheet, he's got nine total rebounds. Trey King, again, first half goes out, gets 3 fouls. And, Trey is very, very fragile. And, in fact, he's only about, I think he's only about 12 years old. He's a sophomore, but he's been held back. He's 14 or 15. But, he can get down on himself. And we just kept saying, hey, you got to be ready second half. Second half, you got to be ready. And you never know when it's going to be called. But he got in there and got us going and was able to score. And, when we put those 3 big guys in there together, we can create some mismatches that are very difficult for people to match up with. And we were able to isolate a couple of those, and Trey was able to cash in. And tremendous credit to him. And Drew Trimble, he handled the ball tonight the way that I thought he could when I took this job. He's very good when he's going downhill towards the rim. And he was doing that tonight and played great and got to the foul line, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Just very proud of him as well.
Coach, I know you don't look ahead, but I'm going to look at your schedule for you. You have, and that's why Scott Humphreys was sitting in the crowd tonight from GRC. You have them Valentine's night over at Clark County, a good Cardinal team. Monday night, you got a really good Boyle County team at your place, and then you wrap the regular season up next Thursday at Bryan Station. So obviously, some tough tests ahead for LCA, but you wouldn't want it any different here heading into tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely no. This will tell you where I'm at. Absolutely no disrespect to Clark County. But we're sitting in a staff meeting on Monday morning, and somebody said we had a game on Saturday. That's the way you're talking about, And I hadn't even looked past because I knew we had these 2 big district games coming up, and I hadn't even looked past it. And people always asking me who we played the last week of the season, and I couldn't tell you, until today. But yeah, it's a challenging schedule, but that's what you want, to get you ready for a regional tournament.
And I'm going to tell you this because as a coach, you're going to want to know this because they're in your district. Lafayette, the last we heard, they were leading Trinity, one of the top teams in the state. They're really starting to gel. I mean, the Dunbar's starting to gel. Your ball club's solid. We don't have to talk about the 43rd. Everybody knows how good the 43rd district is, and it's going to be a great tournament starting a week from Monday over at Tates Creek. We're looking forward to it. We're going to cover all those games here on WVLK and PrepSpin, so we're looking forward to it.
Very good. There will be no easy games in that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Good win tonight, and that's Nate Valentine. We'll come back as LCA gets the win here tonight by 10 over Lexington Catholic. We'll come back and wrap things up here with William Warfield here on WVLK and PrepSpin after this quick timeout.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care. Bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all. That's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim Hill and Susan and Bill Nybert. Go Eagles.
Again, back to wrap it up. Gary Ball, thanks to William Warfield and also to Justin Cheatham on color. And thanks to our stars of the game, Drew Trimble and Trey King. And thanks to Nate Valentine for joining us. The final was 54-44. Lexington Christian gets the #1 seed in the 43rd District. Join us next week for another big game here on WVLK. Again, we want to thank Terry Murphy, our producer, for William Warfield and Justin Cheatham. This is Gary Ball. The final score, Lexington Christian Academy 54, Lexington Catholic 44. Thanks for watching and listening to the Game of the Week on PrepSpin and WVLK. Have a great evening, everyone.